Everybody's favorite Tesla hacker, Jason Hughes, has finally cracked the battery pack software on the Tesla vehicles and has brought some new information to light on the actual capacities of the Tesla battery packs. Now, he also had sent me earlier this year a couple of the cells from a P85 single motor, so it was the original battery chemistry, and I would have to concur with his findings, at least for the 85 and the original 85 and original non-software limited 60 kilowatt hour battery packs. My video with my findings with the cells will be coming eventually. I have to converse with him a little bit more to put my findings more in a usable format. But I cycled the cells about 100 times, each one 100 times, from full discharge to full charge to full discharge, and measured both directions, etc., and got the capacity, usable capacity from that. Now, what Jason has found, and now this is Tesla's own software flat out saying that, and if you go to Electrek, Inside EVs, Teslarati, you can see the chart. The original 60 kilowatt battery packs were actually the best ones in terms of getting what you're paying for. The original 60s were apparently 61 kilowatt hours total capacity. The 85s, P85s, 85Ds, and P85Ds had a usable capacity of 81.5 kilowatt hours, with a total capacity of 81.5 kilowatt hours, with a usable capacity of 77.5. Now the 90s and the P90Ds had a actual capacity of about 85.8 kilowatt hours and a usable capacity of 81.8. Yeah, it's not looking too good. It's almost 10 kilowatt hours. It's almost over 8 kilowatt hours less capacity than advertised as usable, and almost a little over 4 kilowatt hour capacity lower actual capacity than advertised. Now, the original 70s were 71.2 kilowatt total capacity with 68.8 usable. Software limited 60 and 60Ds were 62.4 kilowatt hours usable, and actual usable because they were software limited from a larger pack. Now, the software limited 70 and 70Ds are 65.9 kilowatt hour usable. So if you notice, the software limited 70s and 70Ds are less capacity than the non-software limited 70s, the actual physical 70s. Well, before I saw this article today, last night, me and Gino limped home from Kung Fu class. It was about 2 degrees out, and the cold snatched a considerable amount of capacity from usability. Plus, of course, we had the heat and air conditioning going. Air conditioning, where am I getting that from? We had the heat going, trying to keep the windows from fogging up. And I had that at the minimum I needed. So we literally rolled into the driveway with barely enough power to limp it uphill. And by the time I got it in the driveway, or in the garage, the car was pretty much borderline shutdown mode. So I thought, what a great opportunity to test total pack capacity. So I charged it from 0 to 100%, or attempted to. Now, the way I calculated things out and the way it looked like based on what the car was telling me is I actually used about 4% below 0%. So due to inaccuracies of the calculation of battery pack's capacity, based on what it thought I had in the battery pack, I went about 4% below zero. Now, don't always count on there being power below zero. I've had it shut down above zero on occasion. One occasion. That was testing, but it did. Or no, it wasn't. That was on Loner 60 at the Madison supercharger. The brakes dragged, and the car shut down about 300 feet from the supercharger. Whole nother story. Watch that video instead. So here's the deal. I charged, but the car would not charge over 96% battery. Even when I stopped the charge and attempted to resume charge, it would not charge over 96%. And I ended up with a range of 200, and I still have it on my phone here, 271 rated miles. That's far cry lower than the 294 the car was delivered with 25,000 miles ago and 9 months. Now, using a Tesla app, third-party Tesla app called Remote S, it actually can read what the car calculated it put into the battery pack on its last charge. So going from shutdown level to as much power as the car could take, my car put in 78.04 kilowatt hours of power into the battery pack. Now, the cars always keep a little bit of unusable capacity, which is basically called anti-bricking capacity. It's power where if you drive the car to shut down, this reserve power in the pack is what keeps the pack from basically getting junked. So if you add in on approximately, based on what I've read and what I've got hint from Tesla employees, is there's approximately 2 to 3 kilowatt hours of reserve capacity in the pack to prevent bricking. So if we take that 78.04, we'll just round it down. I mean, it's so close. So we'll say 78 kilowatt hours that the car put back into the pack. Add in 2 to 3 kilowatt hours of reserve capacity for bricking. That gives us approximately 80 to approximately 80 to 81 kilowatt hours of capacity. So let's just flash back to the chart here. 90Ds and P90Ds have 85.8 kilowatt hour total usable capacity and 81.8 kilowatt hour of usable. So if we factor that in, what the car replenished plus what the reserve capacity would have been, autopilot's a little flaky there, lost lines, so I'm going to resume manual driving. But if we take what was replenished plus what was in reserve, we come out to approximately what the usable capacity on the car was. And now it didn't actually go into full shutdown, so there might have been maybe a little bit more, but based on what the power meter said and how low it dropped and the warnings and the reduction of everything, we were very close. So that pretty much mirrors, and now I didn't know anything about this article prior to this morning or this afternoon. So basically I did my test, which was going to be a whole separate video, before I even knew about this article. So that pretty much mirrors the usable capacity that Jason had said is for the 90 kilowatt battery pack. What are your thoughts on this, everybody? I mean, this is some pretty heavy stuff, and well, the original 60s and the software limited 60s and the original 70s all have more capacity than what was originally stated. It looks like everything else is considerably lower than what it should have been. I'd like to hear how Tesla's going to address this. makes it a bad idea for Tesla to keep naming the cars and calling it this 90 kilowatt hour Model S or 85 kilowatt hour Model S or 75 kilowatt hour Model S. It's a little, actually considerably misleading. So give us what your opinions are. I mean, this is some pretty heavy stuff, and hopefully no class action lawsuits come from this, but I could see if the actual capacity matched the stated capacity, advertised capacity. So in this case, it says, let's go back because I've had experience with the actual physical cells on the original 85s. Original 85's actual capacity was 77.5 usable with 81.5 actual. So that's 3.5 kilowatt hours less than advertised. Now, if the actual capacity matched the 85 advertised, even though usable capacity could have been less, I would give that a free pass. But considering that the actual capacity is less and considerably less for the 90s, I can just imagine what the 100s are going to be. I think that's a little dubious advertising that needs to be addressed. So post your comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Sorry for the rambling, but that's how I do it.